Hello, teachers, parents, and educational leaders, and welcome to this episode of Breaking Down the B.E.S.T. Now, during this episode, you will get a peek into the members-only area where I have tons of resources to help you make math fun, make it click, and make it stick. There should be a link somewhere around this video where you can learn more. All right, now that we got that out of the way, let's get to it, and let's break down the standard. Welcome to Breaking Down the B.E.S.T, a video series dedicated to breaking down Florida's best standards for math. So grab something to write with and maybe even a snack. This looks good. And don't forget to put a smile on your face. There you go. I see you. And let's dive into today's best standard. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Sarah McCarthy, and I am super pumped that you are joining me on this episode of Breaking Down the B.E.S.T. And today we're going to break down the following standard. It is MA.3.AR.3.2. MA, that stands for Math, 3 stands for 3rd grade, AR stands for Algebraic Reasoning, and 3.2 is our standard for today. So this standard says to determine whether a whole number from 1 to 144 is a multiple of a given one-digit number. So determine just means is it or not, yes or no. And it says instruction includes determining if a number is a multiple of a given number by using multiplication or division. So we'll make sure that we cover that as well. Some of the connecting benchmark are MA.3.NSO.2.2 and 2.4, which really focus on multiplication and division. There are a lot more benchmarks there that go with that, so those are not the only two, but those are a solid 2 to connect to. For vertical alignment, in 2nd grade, they learned about repeated addition and arrays, so we can use that to connect multiples this year. In 4th grade, NSO.2.1, that is recalling multiplication and division facts, and MA.4.AR.3.1 is prime and composite numbers and factors, where they will use multiples and start to generate some patterns with numbers too. Okay, so let's go to the purpose and instructional strategies section. By the way, let me point out that this document right here, I did not create this document. This is something that the Florida Department of Education releases to the public, so you can totally get your hands on it and mark it all up like I do. Basically what I'm doing is showing you how I use what they provide to analyze the standard and create resources that are strategically aligned to the B.E.S.T standards. So, purpose and instructional strategies. Let me just point out what jumped out at me here. It said the purpose of this benchmark is for students to determine whether a whole number is a multiple of a given one-digit number. For example, is 45 a multiple of 5? And we can do that by connecting multiplication or division. Like 5 times 1 equals 5. That would be the first multiple. 5 times 2 is 10. So 5, 10. 5 times 3 is 15, which produces multiples just like that. And also connecting division, saying that 45 is divisible by 5. So 45 is a multiple of 5. Here they pointed out too that students should have a strong understanding of how multiplication and division work before developing their knowledge of multiples. So there's that. Those are some things that jumped out at me. They did mention too that in 2nd grade, they practice skip counting by 2s. So that will help. Okay, going to the common misconceptions and errors. It says students may not list the number itself. If you're asking students if a number is a multiple of 5 and students are listing multiples of 5, they might not start with the number 5. So it's important to show them that we start with whatever it is times 1, and that would be the first multiple. So for the multiples of 6, we would start with 6, and then 12, and then 18. But sometimes they tend to confuse that and not include the first number. In fact, in the Math Misconception Mystery resource that I'll point out, we do address that. There's a character that performs that same mistake, so we get to highlight it in that episode. If you have time, I would definitely suggest taking a look at this section right here, but we are not going to discuss it in this video. It does just break it down even more. But like right here, I love this. Multiples of 8 start with 8 times 1, which is 8. And it's showing that using an array. And these are some sample questions of what you can expect. It kind of just shows the standard in action. So you can take a look at those. And with that, let's go ahead and take a look at how the resources available in Taking on the Best align with this standard. So here we are at the website, McCarthyMathAcademy.com. Click Members, enter here, and then Taking on the Best. We would like to explore 3rd grade. Thank you very much. The AR strand, and scrolling down to multiples right there. MA.3.AR.3.2. So this is just one video needed for multiples. It's a pretty simple skill once students have a firm understanding of multiplication and division. So this is the video lesson. You are able to share it. You can either click the link and share it that way by copying it in the address bar. Just be aware that a lot of counties do block Vimeo videos, and I'm aware of that. So you do have the ability to download the video here and re-upload it however you need to, okay? This is the video lesson. So it says, is 28 a multiple of 7? Explain how you know, and we'll break that down on the video. And so on for the other ones too. So that is good stuff there. That is the bronze membership. And if you have the silver membership or the gold, you have access to the silver resources. You do have the math misconception mystery, which is a big hit with a lot of teachers and students. They absolutely love these, and I'll show you the problem in the printable section. So we've got the video lesson, and we know that because of the video icon. This video lesson is found on the bronze page that we were just looking at. Then we have some extra practice, 2 pages of extra practice, and then a math mission. The math mission is a math task. It says fill in the blanks using the cards. Part 1, 24 is a multiple of, and then using these cards, you're going to drop them down here. 24 is not a multiple of which 2, and determine whether 32 is a multiple of 3. Explain your thinking. So you can see it takes what they're supposed to have learned for this standard and bumps it up to really get your students thinking. And for the math misconception mystery episode, all you do is you click play and I guide you through the whole process. I'll start by saying to pause the video and solve it on your own. You can do that you can have your students do that independently or in a small group, whatever you choose. So they'll solve it, and then they'll watch as each character in the video, which these characters are just me dressed up in silly costumes, and the characters will solve the problem. 3 of them will make a mistake that students commonly make. So I believe that once one of the characters states that 6 is not a multiple of 6 when it in fact is, and that prompts you to have that discussion in the video lesson there. Okay, then you fill out the detective report. Who does the most reasonable answer belong to and why? And then with the others, evaluating their work. What did they do that was correct? What was the error? And what do they need to know for next time? So super fun with those. And then for your gold resources, if you have the gold plan, click there. Just scroll down and click. You have the bronze, silver, and gold. The main highlights of the gold membership are that you have access to a mini assessment and McCarthy Math 155. You also get a little bit of a bonus perk by having this episode of Breaking Down the Best right here. It's ad-free, and it's right there with the standard and everything that you're already seeing, but these videos are also available on YouTube as well. So the mini assessment, click here, and you'll see a variety of question types. Okay. There, variety of question types, and notice it says show what you know. So this could be a mini assessment, it could be a practice test, or it could just be extra practice. It does not say mini assessment, and I'm aware that a lot of counties will provide you with the assessments that you need to give your students. So this could just be extra practice if you need it. And then you also have access to McCarthy Math 155, which, let me go back, McCarthy Math 155 is a daily intervention to the Common Core standards. It's the program that I created in the past, and the 155 stands for 155 video lessons. So while they are not specifically aligned to the B.E.S.T standards, there's a lot of practice that you can still pull from this. For instance, multiplication. If you go here, or yeah, so if you go to the multiplication section, any of these are just practicing multiplication. So while they might not be right there on multiples, you can still practice. And you know what? I also want to point out, did I put it at the end? If you scroll all the way down, this right here, the multiplication mashup, is a whole song about all of the multiples from 0 all the way to 12. So this is also available on YouTube, and a lot of students have mastered their facts because of this song. It's a 7-minute song, and it takes you through all of the from the factor of 0 all the way to the factor of 12. Just a quick way to spit out the multiples in a rhyme. You also have your answer key there for the mini assessment, and I think that is it. Before you go, let me remind you that what you choose to do with your life, it really does matter. I want to thank you so much for everything that you dedicate to your students every single day. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey and a part of your students' journey. I do not take that lightly, and it really does. I love what I get to do, and I love that I get to support you. So continue being a rock star and showcasing what your best looks like so that your students can step into the best version of themselves. And I will see you next time. Bye. Okay, so I know that I just said goodbye for now, but I'm gonna ask you to do one more thing, okay? If you enjoyed this episode, please consider sharing it with your teacher friends or other leaders in education. That's how I get to continue doing what I love to do, which of course is supporting you all to the best of my ability. All right, for real now. Bye.